You ever just wish you could, like, instantly get a handle on some really complex idea or, explore something totally unexpected?
Yeah, like digging into how one story presents an idea versus, say, how it's shown on a website for kids.
Exactly. That's what we're doing today. Welcome to the deep dive.
So today we're jumping into two really different takes on time travel clubs.
Okay.
We've got the short story, The Time Travel Club, from Lightspeed magazine on one hand.
Right, the sci-fi one.
And then we're looking at excerpts from The Time Travelers, which is more of a children's or young adult website.
Gotcha. So our goal here is really to unpack these two very different views of time travel, these clubs that form around it. We're kind of hunting for surprises, maybe even links between them.
Right, because even really fantastical stuff like time travel, it can tell us something interesting about, human desires, social stuff.
Totally. Okay, so let's dive into that Lightspeed story first. It kind of throws you right in, doesn't it?
Yeah.
With this supposed time machine.
It really does. And that first scene, it's great. This group, they're trying to decide what object to send through first.
Mm-hmm.
And the suggestions are all over the place. Car keys and action figures.
And Lydia's sobriety coin,
Mm-hmm.
which feels immediately different, heavier somehow.
Exactly. It's got so much meaning packed into it, right? A symbol of her whole journey. And her immediate panic when it vanishes, even for a test, it makes this sci-fi idea feel really, really grounded.
Yeah, the stakes feel real instantly.
And then there's Madame Alberta, a bit of a mysterious figure, yeah, with her, let's say, interesting accent.
And she's running this thing out of a laundry room.
I know, a laundry room time machine. The setup itself is almost comical vacuum cleaner hoses, a slow cooker. Bizarre.
It really leans into the homemade, slightly dodgy feel of it all. Okay, so they do the first test. Lydia's coin.
Yep. Purple vapor, this weird clorp sound. You're expecting something amazing.
Yeah.
Total anticlimax. The coin's just gone, and you see the hope just kind of drain away. Frustration starts setting in.
Which is the perfect setup for Lydia's big insight, isn't it?
Absolutely. While everyone else is thinking time, she's thinking space.
Right. The Earth isn't just sitting still, is it?
Not at all. It's spinning, it's orbiting the sun, the whole solar system's moving. So sending something even a second into the future means it won't be in the same place.
And Jerboa jumps in with the science to back it up. Gravity, momentum, the machine bypasses all that.
Meaning the coin couldn't just reappear in the laundry room.
Yeah.
Where does it end up?
On the neighbor's roof, which is just brilliant. Such a logical yet totally unexpected consequence.
Yeah.
Real physics messing with sci-fi dreams.
Exactly. And this is the huge pivot. The machine isn't for traveling through history. It's basically launching stuff into space.
Oh.
By sending it just a tiny bit into the future, it reappears where the Earth will be. But because the machine ignores gravity and momentum, the object just keeps going into orbit or beyond.
Whoa. Okay, so that changes everything.
Completely. There are limits, of course. Size, weight. The further you send something in time, the further away in space it ends up. So no visiting dinosaurs.
Right. But, wow. A failed time machine accidentally becomes a space launcher? That's quite a twist.
It's a total reinvention based on failure.
So the original dream dies, but Lydia, being super practical, immediately sees this new angle. Satellite launches.
And boom! MJL Aerospace is born. This, accidental startup built on a misunderstanding of their own tech.
It really shows how resourceful people can be, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, plan A failed spectacularly, but maybe plan B is launching stuff into space from a laundry room.
Yeah, but it's not exactly smooth sailing, is it? They don't really know what they're doing.
Right, trying to get clients. With the poor guy Ricky from Garbo.com.
Yeah, and Malik's clearly not comfortable with the whole, the pretense of it all. You get the sense it's built on shaky ground.
And it does start to fall apart. The aerospace thing doesn't really take off. The club meetings stop.
And then Madame Alberta just drops this massive revelation
You could-
completely out of the blue.
Yeah, that she's from an alternate timeline where the British Empire won and Europe was nuked. What?
It just reframes everything you thought you knew about her and the machine and her message.
Power is not an opportunity. It is a choice.
Exactly. Suddenly, it's not just about a weird machine. It's about the ethics, the responsibility of having any kind of power, even accidental space launching power.
And while all this craziness is happening, you see these really deep connections forming. Lydia opening up about her past.
Yeah, that feeling they all share of being outsiders. It feels like that's the real core of the club, maybe even more than the time machine idea ever was.
That's a really good point, because even after the business fails, the time travel club sort of reforms.
It does, yeah. It expands, still using that fantasy label, but now there's this vetting process, this secrecy before people learn the truth about the machine.
So the shared experience, the need to belong, that keeps it going even when the original reason has totally changed.
Right. Which leads us to Lydia's own accidental trip.
Not through time, but into space. She tries to send herself into the future and bam, orbit.
Can you imagine the disorientation, seeing this huge, cobbled together spaceship?
And realizing it's another time travel club. Out there. Mind. Blown.
It just throws everything wide open, doesn't it? Like, how many other weird little groups are out there built on completely unexpected premises?
Okay, wow. That story goes places. Now, let's switch gears completely to the Time Traveler's website,
Yeah, the tone here is radically different.
Yeah.
Night and day.
where Lightspeed had this sort of gritty, accidental, science gone wrong vibe.
This is pure whimsy, explicit fantasy. Time travel is just something that happens in this old hotel in Virginia City. Alice does it.
And the parents have no idea. They just think it's a charming old hotel.
Which is a lovely idea, isn't it? The secret world of adventure right under their noses.
Totally. And the way they invite you to join the Time Travelers Club, kids, adults, everyone's welcome. It's all about community through shared fun, buying Alice's journal, the merch.
It's a very different kind of club, for sure. Built purely on imagination, not on, a malfunctioning appliance.
Definitely. And the journal excerpts they include, it's so charming. This train that travels through time.
With the ticket lady who just casually asks if you want to go backwards, forwards, straight away, or upside down.
I love that line. It just perfectly nails the tone. It's fun. It's magical.
And the train itself, Mind Interactive seats going to places like Phoenix, Arizona, but also Phoenix in ancient China, and even vacuous Phoenix.
It really leans into the anything is possible side of imagination, doesn't it?
But there's that little hint of mystery, too, with LM Lorgnette monocle and the warning about you-know-whos.
Adds a tiny bit of shadow to the sunshine. Okay, so comparing them side by side.
The definition of time travel is just fundamentally different. One is this kind of flawed science experiment that leads to space travel.
And the other is just straight up magic in a hotel.
And the clubs themselves reflect that. One's like this accidental support group that finds a weird purpose.
The other is a marketed adventure community. Join the fun.
The motivations feel different, too. The Lightspeed group seems driven by maybe escapism, finding a place to belong.
Whereas Alice's club is about the thrill, the shared make-believe, the adventure itself.
Yeah, and the danger element is different, too. Lightspeed has the potential misuse of technology, maybe government secrets.
And the Time Travelers has this vague, almost storybook threat, you-know-whos.
And, well, obviously the whole believability factor. Lightspeed plays with physics, even when it breaks its own rules a bit.
While Alice's world just says, yep, magic train, hop on. It embraces the impossible.
So, pulling it all together, what do we take away? We've got these two incredibly different pictures of time travel and the communities around them.
The Lightspeed story's pivot from time travel failure through accidental space launch is pretty unforgettable. It really speaks to adaptability, maybe. Unexpected innovation.
Yeah, definitely. And both stories, they tap into something deep, don't they? That need for connection, the power of a shared idea, even a fantastical one.
And that desire to get away from the everyday, whether it's through a machine in a laundry room or a magic train.
It's fascinating how that same core idea, Time Travel Club, can lead down such wildly different paths. One grounded, sort of in a weird science, the other pure imagination.
Makes you think, doesn't it? What is it about time travel that pulls you in? Which kind of club would you gravitate towards? The messy, accidental one or the magical adventure one?
And maybe that leads to the final thought here. Put yourself in, say, Lydia's shoes.
Oh.
You've got this thing, this machine, this idea you've invested in, and it doesn't work like you thought at all.
Right. Failure.
But the failure opens up something else entirely, something unexpected, maybe just as significant. What do you do? Do you hold on to that original fantasy, the thing you wanted it to be? Or do you look at the unexpected reality, the new possibility, and say, okay, let's see where this goes?
That choice, right, between the dream and the weird reality that just landed in your lap, that feels like the core question both these stories, in their own ways, leave you with.